So it's been a while since I've worked on a production outside of my own, but I'm proud to be a part of Javon Johnson's Sanctified Tour, and our next show is on March 5th here in Atlanta. So if you love gospel stage plays and you want to come out and have a good time with us, click on the link in the description and come out to support. And this particular run will be for a good cause. It will all benefit Carver Bible College and HBCU, so proceeds will be granted to the college to help keep their doors open. So come out and support if you're in or around the Atlanta area. The link for the tickets is down below. If we have to choose a color scheme for episode 18, it will most definitely be blue. Even Eli and Simone's living quarters has a blue hue to it. Alan didn't have the balls to take Hunter out, and now he's being interrogated by Hunter. And during this little interrogation, Hunter decided to go down memory lane and share a story with Alan about how good Ellie's BJs are. Then he told Alan he worked in a cubicle. He said that Ellie wasn't into boys, but into men. Clearly, he's baiting Alan into a fit of rage, but Alan didn't fall for it. He kept his cool. But I know that it was hard for him to stand there with the president, listening to him school him about how good his dead girlfriend was sexually. He started bossing Alan around, telling him that he's not going anywhere until he was dismissed. But Alan decided to leave anyway, and on his way out, he went to grab for the gun behind his back when Victoria walked in, and her busting in actually saved Hunter's hiney because Alan was about to light him up. And if Alan was going to make a move and make something shake, he should have did it when his back was turned, right? Victoria told Hunter that Simone paid her a visit and her and Eli are not backing down, so they have to come up with another plan. And Hunter told her good luck with that, and here we see Hunter pretty much leaving all the dirty work to Victoria, and he's not really fighting for his own seat at all. He really does absolutely nothing but drink and hunch. We'll just say hunch. And she also told him that she talked to Jason's doctor, and the doctor told her that Jason is going to make a full recovery from the accident. And I posted a video on this scene, and if you missed it, I'll leave it linked above. And Hunter is happy to hear that Jason will recover. And Victoria wants him to recover too, but not so fast. And from the looks of things, she wants to slow down the recovery process. She told him that they have to make a decision together on how they're going to handle it. And Hunter doesn't want to have anything to do with it. Of course, Victoria thinks that Jason's speedy recovery could just ruin their plot to spin the story on the murders. Alonzo went into Alan's office to get his service weapon back. He told Alan that he looked at the footage of him coming back to work over and over again, and he saw Alan bending down for something. And at first, Alan pretended to not know where the gun was, but after Alonzo threatened to tell Donald, he gave it back to him. Then we see Victoria threatening to fire this poor housekeeper. Victoria needs to breathe, relax, relate, release. This woman has absolutely no chill. I'm afraid that she's becoming more and more like Hunter, one-dimensional. Looks like Donald has been doing his homework. He went upstairs to inform Victoria that Kyle done went missing. After Sam sent Grip home after Jason's accident, he figured that Sam is working with the vice president and that Kyle is somewhere in the White House because he came in, but he never went back out. Donald wants Victoria to distract Sam when Grip comes back to work, and I don't know why he wants her to do this, but maybe it's so that he can send Grip to the bunker and try to get Kyle out. Then we move on to blunt-smoking Barry and sensitive Sharon. He's offering her a hit of his vape pen. I don't know, it may have been weed. I don't know, but I don't think that you can pack weed into those pens. But whatever it is, he wanted Sharon to smoke some of it to take the edge off, but she declined. And Barry really tried to encourage her to tell him what's wrong, but she said it was too dangerous. Then he began feeding her lines about how she feels about him, and he knows that she loves him too. And she said that things are good sometimes and bad sometimes, but they needed more of the good memories to reflect on. And I'm sitting here watching them like, don't Sharon have a whole man in the back of Hunter's van somewhere? And she's actually over there to boo-hoo to his dad about her other man. But we'll see this part a little bit later in this video. But her and Barry are carrying on like she's single. Make up your mind, Sharon. Hunter called Donald up to ask him about why he sent Alan to check on him. Of course, Alan had no idea what he was talking about, but he was quick on his feet, and he told Hunter that he'd talked to him. Donald took this opportunity to tell Hunter that Kyle has went missing for about 30 hours. He told him that he'd been trying to manage the situation, but he was unable to. Hunter immediately thinks that Kyle has switched switched up and went over to the other side to help the vice president out. Donald assured him that he hadn't done this. And this is one of them times when Donald is genuinely worried. He knows that if Kyle talks, it's over for them all. Now we move on to Bobby and Max, Eli and Simone. And Simone is telling them that she wants to have Jason moved. They understand that he's getting better and he may now be in danger because he may start talking and blow their cover. So she wants to have him moved. They initially thought that it would be a good idea to let the public know that Jason's getting better, but Max told them that they care nothing about the public. It's the parties that they need to be concerned about. But because a lot of the party's agendas are being passed, they will stay on Hunter's side as much as they need to. And then Bobby had a blonde moment. He asked if they thought that Hunter and Victoria would do something to their son. And I'm like, where have you been the past 2 seasons? Jeez. And during this little meeting of the minds, Bobby and Max discovered that not only do they want the public to know the truth, but they're also itching to become president and first lady. And we can tell that Simone is a little bit offended, and she got a little irritated. Her true colors are becoming more and more transparent. I did a video about Simone and Eli's motive, and if you missed it, I'll leave it linked in the card above. Now that Victoria has laid the murders on Jason, the bloody mattress top is null and void. So now they know that Victoria and Hunter are telling the truth. Since going after them is becoming harder, they decide to focus on Kyle and Donald now. Bobby thinks that they need to fight evil with evil, but the president ain't really with all that torture and assaulting each other. But after Max told him that there was no other way, and that torture, suffering, and misery is the only language that Kyle understands. Now he's suddenly paying attention. He told Eli that the only way that Kyle can get out of that bunker was to send him in to get him. Simone thinks that it's too risky, but Eli said that he will arrange for them to have a meeting with Sam because he doesn't want them to talk on the phone. Eli said that he wanted all the evidence brought to one room so that he could see what's what before he went to talk to the senators. Now Alan is in the hot seat with Donald, answering questions about why he ended up in the Oval. He told him that he wanted to make sure that Hunter knew what happened to Ellie. Now, Hunter was probably the first one to know that Ellie was no longer on Earth. And that was pretty dumb, Alan, but even though Donald didn't believe a word that he said, he was off the hook for now. And Victoria's falling right in line with what Donald asked her to do. She sends a phone call to the security room, and she asked Sam to come up. Sam wanted to send Alonzo up to see what she wanted, and Alonzo didn't want to go. Then Sam said, "What, are you scared of her or something?" Alonzo said that she specifically wanted Sam, and Sam seen her looking at him like, "We don't get your ass upstairs." And by now, Grip walked in, and Sam told him that he could sign back in and that the chief of staff wanted to see him. See, with Sam being head of Secret Service, I'm thinking that he needs to turn his spidey senses on and know whose side Grip is really on. I just need him to have a little bit more insight when it comes to everyone in the White House and be on top of everything that's happening on a day-to-day basis. And look, I don't know if anybody else is paying attention to this or not, but every time we see footage of that security room, it's the same dude on the monitors, the same dude. Is anyone else noticing this? Alonzo went upstairs to see what Victoria wanted, and she figured out that he was lying when she wanted to know where Sam was. She told him to get out of her face and to send Sam upstairs ASAP. Then Priscilla just popped up out of nowhere. She came in to see if the First Lady needed anything, and she told her, "Yeah, your husband." And I also broke this scene down, good people, and if you missed it, I'll leave it in the card above. And at the risk of sounding redundant, I'll just say that Victoria is a little bit bothered to see that she can no longer get under Priscilla's skin like she used to. She thought that because Priscilla is well endowed on the backside, that she wasn't going to give Sam up without a fight. But I think Priscilla is definitely getting over it at this point because she told her to have at it. She said that she knows her value and some things just aren't worth fighting for. Then as Priscilla is leaving, Sam comes in. And this really bothered me because, and their scene really bothered me because she asked Sam that if Priscilla were to slap her, what would he do? And Sam delivered the dumbest line in this episode, and he said that he'd have to do his job and keep her safe. And I'm so glad that Priscilla is moving past this crap because clearly he holds his job on a higher pedestal than his own wife, so I'm done. Then Victoria goes on and on about how she missed him, being forceful with her, telling him that she needs to talk to him, and she's not going to allow him to leave until she's finished. Need you to man up, Sam. Get your balls out of Victoria's pockets and stand up for Priscilla for once. Sam has shown us who he really is, and I don't like what I see. This slave mentality that he has with Victoria, I don't know, maybe it's the music playing in the background, because the tone is giving lame, wimp, punk, and simp. He's weak, and he ain't got no power. Y'all, relook at this scene and listen to the music as they're sitting down. Relook at it. Is relook even a word? Grip made it in to see Donald, and Donald is asking him where Kyle is. Grip told him that he checked all the cameras everywhere except for the cameras that are in the bunker. So Donald gave him the key and told him to let him know as soon as he found out where Kyle was. Grip told him that he may want to keep Sam busy, and he said he got Sam. And I thought that Kyle was in the bunker that's being kept by Eli. He said that he had separate quarters, remember, from the president, or something like that. I don't know, maybe I heard it wrong, but if this is the case, how does Donald have a key? So when Grip got to the bunker, he tried to open the cell to let Kyle out, but the code wasn't working. Sam has it all set up to where the cell code changes every time the door closes. Kyle told him not to let anyone know that he knew that he was down there. Then he wanted to get Grip's service weapons. He tucked one away in his sock and the other in his back. And I don't know what the temperature is in this bunker. Is this some sort of torture method, or do they just want to make him uncomfortable? But Kyle be sweating bullets every time the cameras roll in that bunker. Richard is home after a long day at the White House, and Nancy is letting him know that Sharon came in shaking and she needs to see him. Barry talking about he think he needs to be a part of the conversation for what? Anyway, he and Nancy left the room so that they could talk. Sharon let Richard know that Hunter came to the pharmacy because Kareem Dumbbutt went to the police. Richard told her that she shouldn't have told Kareem anything. She told Richard that Hunter also had him on the radar. Richard wanted to know where Dale was, and he told her to call Dale and tell him that he's going to pick him up because there's strength in numbers. Richard wants to have a sleepover, okay? And have them all come over to his house. All right, Richard. Sharon is freaking out and she's scared, and Richard assured her that everything was going to be okay. She called Dale, and Dale is just sitting there on the couch doing absolutely nothing, and he just happened to have his phone in his hand when she called. And Dale didn't resist. He said okay, he's going to come over. And when he walked out of the room, apparently he saw Kareem, because the end trailer has him on the phone talking to Sharon, telling her that Kareem is at the house. And this concludes my review of Tyler Perry's The Oval Season 3, Episode 18, Next to Impossible. If you liked the video, give it a thumbs up. I'd really appreciate it. And if you're an Oval fan, go ahead and sub to this channel, because I do video breakdowns like this all the time. Thank you so much for joining me on today's episode of Ruthless TV, and I'll see you in the next one.